Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org and I'm back with another tutorial for the new Boston. In this video we're going to be looking briefly but importantly at SQL injection within this application. There will be another video on SQL injection that you can go and look at, but in this example we're logging a user in but we're not protecting our query. Now our query looks like this, and I've briefly spoken about the security for this query. Now what's happening is that we're allowing data to be freely posted into this form, and then what we're doing is we are putting it into a query which will actually allow anyone to perform an SQL injection. I'm not going to go into this too much. However, what could happen is a user could say specify this value for username. They could do a single quotation mark, and then they could say or, and then they could do two single quotation marks, and then they could do an equals and a single quotation mark. Now what I'm highlighting in blue here is possible to be entered into the username or password field. So if the user was to enter this, the query would read true to some extent. I mean, we've encrypted our password, so you know we can look at this either way, but this means that an SQL query can be performed. And like I said, if you are not familiar with SQL injection, sorry, not query, the query has been performed, but SQL injection can be performed. If you're not familiar with this, then either read up about it or watch my other tutorial. So what can we do to somewhat prevent SQL injection? Well, what we first of all need to do is think about a function that will protect against, and this function is called MySQL real escape string. Now what this does is it will add slashes and escape characters rather, hence the name escape string, that look like characters that might be used in an SQL injection attack. So first of all, I'm going to end our query here and just concatenate on, and then concatenate on the rest of the query. So I've just basically ended the string, concatenated on username, and concatenated on a start of the string. So this will work, and so will our password hash. Let's just end that and start that there. So you should be familiar with concatenation. Now what I want to do is encase username and password hash with this function. So I'm going to say MySQL underscore real underscore escape underscore string, and I'm going to do the same with password. Even though we're using the password as a password hash, I'm still going to do it. So MySQL real escape string. Now bear in mind that this function can only be used when we've opened a valid MySQL connection. So you couldn't use it in everyday applications, for example just normal form validation where you're not connecting to a database and not performing a query. You need to connect to a database beforehand. So this function has been particularly designed for queries themselves. So now we've somewhat protected against our query, let's go back and test if our login still works. So I'm going to log in as Alex, and my password is pass123. Let's click login, and you can see that you're logged in. So we can log ourselves out, and via Billy account we can do the same thing. So pass123, log in, and you're logged in. Okay, so that's a brief note on how we're going to protect against that SQL injection in our query. But like I said, do research into this because there are other ways to secure a lot